Hi, and welcome to Perfect Imperfections by Dior. We are in the kitchen again. Y'all see this apron. Now, the reason I'm wearing this apron is because I want to, one, use it because it was gifted to me, but also because if you look at what's on here, you see people cooking and it just reminds me of like old school cooking. And so this dish that I'm about to make is actually new for me, but it's a tradition for Nigerians. So today I'm going to teach you how to make Nigerian pepper soup with catfish. And I'm also going to teach myself how to do it as well. And I have all my ingredients, or the ingredients that I could find to make this. So hopefully it comes out the way it's supposed to. Now for my pepper soup, the ingredients that I have is pepper soup seasoning that I ordered, some crayfish, some bay leaf. Now I should be using something called scent leaf, but I don't have it, so I'm going to use bay leaf and also parsley because I heard that that could be a substitution. And then I'm going to add garlic powder just because I want to. And I'm adding ground ginger because I'm supposed to be using fresh ginger, but I actually don't have any right now. So I'm also going to use this ginger garlic paste, but hoping that these powdered garlic and ginger will help the flavor intensify. Help the flavor. I also have 2 Maggie cubes, some salt, a red onion, a red bell pepper, and then habanero peppers, which is also called Scotch Bonnets. Before I show you the star of the show, I want to remind you that this would be a good time to heat some water in a kettle or in a pot because you will need boiling hot water very soon. Okay, so I want to introduce you to the star of the show, the catfish. Wop, wop, wop. So, I don't know why I made that noise. But anyways, this catfish was bought from the store, and I've already asked the butcher to cut it up and clean it, but I'm going to clean it a little bit more. So to clean this catfish a little bit further, we're going to create a little bath for it, and you want to use some lemon or lime juice. And if you don't have a fresh lemon or lime, you can use the juice that you can buy from the store. You also want to add some salt. I'm using some coarse salt, but you don't have to use coarse salt. You can use any salt you want, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to put the fish in there and bathe it. Now, what this is going to do is, one, eliminate some of that strong fishy smell, and also is going to eliminate some of the slime that catfish can have. So this will help with all of that. You're just going to scrub each piece, and then we'll come back to it. The fish is now washed and rinsed and just sitting here for a moment until my water boils. In the meantime, we can start blending our vegetables. Now let's chop up our veggies. We are going to use the blender, so you don't have to chop it up too fine, just enough. We like to use like as much of things as we can in this house, so we keep a lot of it. And I'm just going to roughly chop these items because the blender is about to do most of the work for me. You just dump them in, and that water is about to start screaming at any moment. I'm going to use this whole onion. You could use a different onion if you want. I'm about to take this off because I don't want it to scream on you guys, and it is about to make that noise. And if you've ever heated water in a kettle, you know exactly what whistling noise I'm talking about. What we're going to do now is pour that boiling hot water over the fish. Alright, so we've completely covered the fish that was sitting in the sink with the boiling hot water. And the reason we're doing this is because we want to firm up our fish. If you don't do this step, your fish could flake all in your soup, and then you won't have the big chunks and meaty pieces that you probably want to have. So doing this step is essential to your fish not falling apart in the pot. And then you're just going to leave it for about 2 minutes, but no more than 5 minutes. Okay, back to our vegetables. Now, I told you I'm just doing rough chops. But I am cutting it down a little bit so it could go a tad bit faster for me. But using that whole onion. And then I'm going to add a good chunk of my garlic ginger paste. If you have never used habaneros, you want to be super careful with these babies. Touching them can burn your hands literally, and it will burn like the whole day. So you want to be super extra careful, okay? Now I'm going to use these 2 little baby ones, which might be enough for you guys, and then I'm going to add these 2 bigger ones as well. And I know how these things are. If you take the seeds out, which they are inside, it'll make it less hot, but we like heat in this house, so I'm literally just cutting the tip off and putting it in. You want the least amount of contact with this with your bare hand as possible. You can also put a plastic bag over your hand to save you from the burn, because baby, you don't want that. Okay, so this will be a soup. Don't be afraid to add water in your blender. One, to get this all well blended, but also because you're going to add water to your soup anyway. So I just added water so I can blend everything nicely, and then I'm going to blend it and show you because I know you guys don't want to hear it. All right, so everything is all blended. You don't want to make it too watery, but anyways, it's going in the soup. And if you smell this, your nose hairs might burn, because there's a lot of habanero in there, baby. So there are many ways to make pepper soup, and there are other ingredients that you can eat it with, like yam, potato, plantain, or even rice. Today I'm going to make rice with it because that's easier for me right now, and I'm not sure if the person I'm actually making this for wants potato. But I'm going to put the rest of my hot water that I did boil for the fish in here because I need water anyways. We're going to start putting in our seasonings. Now, the first thing that I want to put in, and this recipe is not exact to anyone's. I like a lot of times to find other people's recipes and tweak it and do it myself. I'm going to put in a bay leaf. That's kind of a small one, but I'm putting it in anyways. And then I'm going to add some of my pepper soup, which has a whole bunch of seasonings. So you have to look that up on your own. And one thing I love about Nigerians is they don't measure. And y'all know I don't measure, so we're on the same page with that. I'm going to add a little bit of salt. I'm going to add the crayfish. Which has a very strong scent. Very strong scent, okay? And then my own touch with the garlic powder. Not too much. And the ground ginger. Not too much of that either, okay? So already the smells are like kicking in, okay? We are going to save this parsley for a little bit later on. The seasonings and vegetables that we put in the blender. I'm going to add my Maggie cubes, which are super hard, but you can crush them. They do have some shrimp flavored ones. I didn't get that kind, but that kind can be used for this as well. And then I'm just going to let this come to a boil, and then I'll add the fish in here. Alright, my fish soup, pepper soup is starting to come to a boil, and I want to add my fish now. So we're just going to add the fish directly into this. And use a pot that's big enough to have your fish in there and not worry about moving it around too much, because the more you move it, the more it's going to break, and you definitely don't want it to break. So you want to use a pot that has enough room for the amount of fish that you're making so that it can all hang out together, but also that, you know, it will have a little bit of space. And then you want to top it off with enough water to be not necessarily over the fish, but at the same level of the fish, depending on how much fish you have in there. And then literally put the lid on it. And we're gonna come back in about 15 minutes. All right, so while we're waiting for that soup to boil, today is the 22nd of December, so I have another $5 million extravaganza. That's 20 bucks, and then I got 2 California jackpots, which are $1 each. So I'm gonna scratch these off, and hopefully I'm a winner today. All 3 tickets were losers, okay? Let's go check on our fish. I'm so scared to open this pot right now because all of this heat about to burn my eyes. Oh my gosh. So I'm backing away. And this is the rapid boil that you do want. This fish is looking good. It actually smells really good. The color looks good. It's not sticking to the pot. Remember, don't move it around too much because you will break the fish, okay? I think this needs to go about 5 more minutes and it should be done. If you wanted to try your stew right now, this would be a good time to taste it to see if you want to add any seasonings. I'm going to actually add the parsley so that can sit in there a little bit. Just let that cook for about 5 more minutes. Okay, so I made my bowl of food. Looks yummy, right? All right, so this was not intended for me to eat, but I gotta try it. It smells really good. It looks really good, and I'm super excited. But I just want to show you guys. I just pulled off a piece of fish, and look at this. Doesn't that look yummy? Oh my gosh. Y'all know I smell stuff. Hope I don't burn my mouth with all this habanero. This is good. Ooh, it's hot. Hot like spicy. Really spicy. I just got a little rice with the fish. This tastes better than I thought it would. I mean, the person I made it for, we'll see what they say, because they'll be the true judge, but I like it. I just want to show y'all up close and personal how flaky and meaty this is. Super tender. Oh my gosh, it's so delicious. This is a good piece of fish right here. All right, well, you guys know the deal. As usual, you have been amazing, okay? And I'm really thankful that you guys have been commenting, even though most of it has been directly towards me, sending me an email or a text message or telling me, you know, if you know me personally, calling me or something and saying, hey, can you make this? Can you make that? I really appreciate that love and support, but can y'all please comment on the videos and let me know what else you want to see or whatever questions you have. Trying to build community here, and also share, because we need more subscribers. We need more people in our community. All right, so share, like, subscribe, and hit notifications. I'll see you next time. Bye.